Jimmy, I can't figure this damn thing out. What combination should we go with? Come on, dude. Get your mind out of the gutter. Would we really make it that back-to-back number as a combo? Oh, hey, Jimmy, fix. Great, Jimmy. Hey, welcome to Daily Flash Preview Review. I am Matt Doolittle. We're jumping into a couple things today. I know we like to separate them, but there's been a lot of news in the overall world of entertainment. But the first thing we're going to get into is they finally released a full trailer for The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. So we've been getting little snippets of this here and there, but we finally get to take a look at the full trailer for The Joker, Folie à Deux. Let's check it out.
Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
So I know sometimes Harley Quinn has been the doctor in some of the storylines. So I guess this looks like she's going to be a patient along with him.
The fractures within our cells.
I'm nobody.
Same stairs from the first one. That's a throwback to
I
the
haven't done anything
first
with my
film.
life like you have.
This is going to be artsy. Uh-oh.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, what is... So this going to be a dream sequence? Or... Okay. They flash between that. He's running... Probably what people are like trying to portray. Be copycats. Gaga.
Tell
That
us,
looks cool.
what's changed, Arthur?
I'll tell you what's changed. I'm not alone anymore.
Okay.
That's what we should
See,
be
that's gotta be-
talking about.
Arkham's an insane asylum. They put it. Okay.
I want to see the real you.
So she's out. Wonder if she knew him before she goes in. Joker, Folie à Deux. October 4th. All right. What are we thinking on that? I think it looks artsy like they've already described it. I mean, if it's anything like the first one, we're going to be pleasantly surprised, right? Who thought they could do a Joker movie without a Batman in it? Or any of the references to all the old DC stuff that we used to have. So I trust Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix because it takes a lot to get him involved in a movie, especially to do a sequel. He's one of these artsy guys that doesn't like to do extra stuff or stuff that he thinks isn't going to be artistic. So I have a belief in it. They have said it's going to have jukebox music in it as well. So that means it's going to be songs that you and I will probably know that we can sing along with. Do they want an audience thing like a Rocky Horror Picture Show thing to go down? I'm not really sure. I don't think they're going to release a lot more trailers or anything for this. I have a feeling they want to keep it kind of under wraps. I mean, they've already billed the first one as a one-off film. They weren't supposed to keep going. These weren't supposed to mix into other stuff, but I think I said in previous versions with the way we have a dark Batman, the Batman now, coming out soon, that already kind of has a Joker in it. Then we have the Dark Penguin show that's about to premiere on Max with Colin Farrell. We have a lot of stuff that could build up to it and stuff that doesn't necessarily need the Batman in it. But this should be fun. So it's going to be October 4th. I think I'm an artsy guy. The cinema studies minor. I like this type of stuff, so I might like it. But your hardcore DC fans are probably going to, what is this? Where's blow up stuff, shoot people? I don't know if it's going to be as violent as the first one. The first one was pretty violent, pretty dark, pretty just depressing. I mean, that's why he won an Oscar for it, right? So we will have to see. So that is going to be October 4th. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit me up. All my social medias are at Matt Doolittle, DOO, 2 O's. Don't forget to say no. It's a big deal. So let's check that out. But the other thing that came out, and I don't really want to mix the entertainment stuff with the theme park stuff, but I had to today because I'm telling you, I am still recovering from WrestleMania over the weekend. If you got a chance to check that out, it was amazing. All the storylines we wanted to happen happened. There were a couple of surprises that didn't happen, but hey, we all got what we wanted. Now The Rock and Seth Rollins and all these guys are going to go on a nice, Roman Reigns will be going on a nice long vacation. So the other big news came out this week is that Disney is planning on their biggest expansion ever here in Orlando at the Magic Kingdom. Probably all over the parks, because they're realizing they've actually got a competitor down the street in Universal about to open up Epic Universe, which is going to have Nintendo Land, How to Train Your Dragon. So they're going to have a lot of stuff coming. So Disney is finally going, look, there's always been the rumor of a fifth park, the villain park. It was supposed to be a villain park, and for whatever reason, that thing got nixed. They stopped it. They never really developed it. But I think this might have been in the Michael Eisner era, where when he already opened Hollywood Studios, it was a mess when that opened that they had to fix over 20 years, and then Animal Kingdom, which they are still trying to fix from his era. But that's part of this expansion. So what they're saying is it's called Project Big Thunder Mountain. So there's this giant piece of swampland right behind Big Thunder Mountain in the parks that hasn't been developed. And this is where Disney can really go at Universal. They have a ton of land that they haven't touched ever. So they could keep growing, whereas Universal's somewhat landlocked in where they are. Right behind it is a school, and the other side of it's a highway. So they're kind of stuck where they are, whereas Disney can keep going. Now the rumors are for this spot, over here in the back, is that it is going to be a Cars Land like they have in California, Radiator Springs, which I'm all for. I finally got to visit that last year. It was super cool, super immersive. The ride was really fun. So I would like to see that. I've always wondered why they haven't had that here. Because to be honest, the Toy Story land that we have as far as a Pixar-based land is not great. It adds a lot to be desired. There's one good ride, the Slinky ride. Well, no, I take that back. The Cowboy Shoot 'em game is okay. It's just those lines are always so long. And to ride Slinky Dog, I think I've done it once, because when the park opens, it's 120 minutes. So we'll have to see what this big expansion has for the future of the parks. They obviously, won't comment on it. They won't push it. Another big thing they kind of did announce is that at Animal Kingdom, where the Dino Land area was, is definitely going to be a more excavation type feel, and they're definitely putting in the Indiana Jones ride. The Dino ride they had there is similar in ride structure to the ride in California, so it just made sense for them to go, well, let's just bring that here, same ride system, and put that in, because we've been asking for that for years. That area made no sense in that park. It was this colorful dragon land or dinosaur land in the middle of this other thing that's supposed to be a animal conservation type area. It really made no sense. So I'm hoping they develop that into something a little more fun, something that's a little more that the whole family can enjoy, because it really was like a super little kid land. So that's going to be the big thing that we're going to happen. And they're saying it's going to be a $60 billion expansion. Now, here's my opinion on that. I have said it for a few years, and I understand that Disney is always going to be growing, and there's that quote from Walt, well, it'll never be finished. Okay, please stop construction for like a year, because it seems like since the early 2000s, every single park is under a massive construction project every year, and it lasts 3 or 4 years. When they were working on Hollywood Studios, it was a disaster. I was working there at the time, and we would have guests complain that I paid for a full day ticket and there's 2 rides open, and you can't walk around half the park, because they were building Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge, and Toy Story Land, and there was nothing to do there. And then they got rid of the Great Movie Ride, and they're like, okay, there's Star Tours, and not even Honey I Shrunk, Muppets, and that was about it that was open there for a minute. It was not good. They just did the same thing with Epcot, where they're finally finishing up, but and because of COVID, it got slowed down. This massive redo of the front of the park, where you were constantly being redirected. When they were redoing the Magic Kingdom a few years, it was a disaster to get around there because of so much cutoffs and this and that. I get it, but please just stop for 1 year. Maintenance, yes, but a full just breakdown of these parks while everybody's running around. Like, we get it, but please, just slow it down. Now, the other thing coming out, for those of you who want to wait in the lines, or have tried to cut the lines, and I have stories about this, Disney is updating their disability access service due to overuse. Now, I've never pulled the I have a disability card to get to the front of the lines. I have been with people who have legitimate disabilities that I was in the party with, and we got to do this. I've had friends that have had diabetes where they got the front of the line thing where you basically sign up for a time and you and two of your other party guests can just go to the front of the line. I've been in Disneyland Paris where we legitimately had a friend who has had multiple diabetes problems, has seizures, all this kind of crazy stuff. And at Disneyland Paris, their policy was you just go to the front of the line at whatever ride you want. Typically the one here at Magic Kingdom, I don't know what the policy is at California, but the one here was you got 3 rides and they were all like broken out within like an hour or two of each other. And you could only pick like a top tier, mid tier, low tier. Disneyland Paris, we rode everything, including a couple of things twice. So that was nuts. But what they're basically saying here is if you fake this, they're going to make you go through a thing where you have to call, you have to provide a proper doctor's note. You can't just say I have. You have to show proof of it. And if they find you misusing it, it is a lifetime ban from all the parks. I think that I'm for this. I think everybody is saying that they have problems. I mean, their big announcement here was developmental disability like autism or similar are unable to wait in a conventional queue for an extended period of time, which is true. You have kids that they just can't, they may be high functioning autism or even adults, and they need to get through there. That's the main push on this, is to be more accommodating to those people instead of letting them go through. Now, Disney caused this problem on their own when they implemented all this Genie Plus and Lightning Lane stuff, because you used to at least be able to get on and book stuff for free at a time that you knew you were going to be out there for. It wasn't a flawless system. There were problems with it, such as you didn't show up for stuff, or they'd overbook it because they knew people wouldn't show up. And it wasn't a perfect system, but I felt like it functioned better, the Fast Pass system, and especially when it was on the app. And then after the pandemic, they went to these virtual queues, which I am not a fan of. I understand that, but if I'm willing to wait 3 hours for Tron, I should be allowed to, not just, oh, sorry, we ran out of spots. Okay, my kid came here and that's the one thing he wants to do. Oh, how can we get around this system? Hey, Timmy, you allergic to anything? Hey, he's allergic to something. We got to get in the front of the ride. They kind of did this to themselves. It's good that they're looking out for that community, and I'm interested to see if the park ban thing is going to work. I heard a radio show today speaking about this, and one of the hardest things to do is to go up to someone with a disability and go, "You really have a disability? Do you really? Because I just saw you hop out of your $100,000 truck with your lanyard there, and you're walking pretty good." But you don't know what underlying stuff they have. They could have a rod in their leg. They could have a mental disorder. They could have diabetes that you don't know about. So just be careful. And what's ruined a lot of this and what happened is social media, and there are websites that you could go onto to figure out how to get around the system. Now, have I used a few of these that don't bother anybody with disabilities to my advantage? Somewhat, because hey, but I didn't seek it out. It's just from working there and understanding how their system works. Really, it's just about being nice to the cast members, and you can pretty much get a lot of what you want. We've talked our way onto rides because we were just nice. There were only 2 of us, and we were like, can we just ride this real quick? It's 9 o'clock. Yep, go ahead. That's how we did it. We don't pull any of this stuff because there's blogs. There are unlicensed tour guides that will go with your family, and you will pay them more to get you to the front of the line. But what they do is they get you a wheelchair. Yeah, this is true. Families will come from overseas, usually, pay some tourist group extra here in Orlando, and the cast members can't do anything about it, and they get there with this family, and their family takes turns in who's going to be in the wheelchair that day. And that's how they get around the park, and they get to go to the front of everything. And with the lines and the park admission increasing almost every year just because more people have time off, because after the pandemic they realized they could work from home. So they come here, send the kids in the park, do their work, and then they meet them. It's just a change of the times, and that's why they cut off the access to annual passes for so long. So I'm interested to see how this goes. If any lawsuits come from guests trying to pull this, and Disney has to say, we don't believe you really have a disability that causes this. I fear we're going to see a lot of online videos of this with their fights. So anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm keeping up on all this. Going to start posting a preview review 2-3 times a week. Again, I was just catching up from WrestleMania weekend, and make sure you check out Daily Flash. Go to our website, dailyflashshow.com. You can catch all the shows there. We have a real exciting segment coming up that are going to be a daily thing where you're going to be able to save a lot of money by going to dailyflash.com, where there's some awesome products that are at amazing rates that we're getting exclusive rates for. So check that out, and let me know what you think. Till next time, peace and love. Peace and love.